All right, everybody, welcome back in. This is going to be another Stormgate cast. I'm Algorithmore, and this is Dopamine. Playing the blue Vanguard as he does, as the top Vanguard on the ladder right now. And his opponent in this match is going to be none other than Yoru. Number 1 Infernal on the ladder, number 2 at the moment. And this game I did happen to check out on Yoru's stream. So there's a huge shout out. Yoru does stream, not super often, but when he does, you should go check him out. Has a very fun play style, as we'll see here. And is actually showcasing some of the best Infernal play that I've seen in the last long time that I've been casting here. He's being quite innovative with his play, and I'll try and point out some of that in this game. But for now, what did we see here? He opened Vault first, Vault into Conclave, and he's got that one imp mining the Ethereum so he can get some gaunts out of there. While he went a little bit later into his shrine, where it was a command post first for Dopamine. First rack's up already, second rack's going down. And it's creeping units already out for Yoru. He could pop an effigy. Boom, as I say it, he does. That way he can get that curse and get those extra phantoms. Not only is that extra DPS, they can do a little tanking. Oh, look at that. The Scout of Dopamine tries to go for the effigy. Now, when it's a permanent effigy like that, it has a little more HP. If I remember correctly, it's 100, yes. Look at it heal up on Shroud. Now with that new ability, Buildings Heal on Shroud, which is new and something I used to talk about. I can't talk about it anymore because now they heal. Now they heal. Once again, Dopamine trying to be just annoying with this scout. It's reminiscent of before the patch when we removed the scouting units. So it's worth reminding us again that this is a scout that has been built intentionally by Dopamine out of his racks to be able to continue with that same style of being annoying at the beginning of the game. And I think I really like this change because the dog before I would have said was not good when it was used as a starting unit, but now I thought it was annoying for the other factions and not particularly balanced. But now you actually have to spend a production cycle to get it out, so it's a little delayed. And then if you're using it, you've actually put some strategy and you've decided a build to get that dog out there. And you know, if you can benefit from that, that's great. That's what the game's all about. Ooh, Yoru here getting caught early by these Lancers. And we're watching these Lancers get, a couple kills, but now a Brute and 2 Gaunts. Does that take out 4 Lancers? It doesn't really look like it. Doesn't really look like it. Indeed, the Gaunts are going to have to pull back here. One already dead. Another Brute comes out. The Gaunt does get some curse on 2 of them, but these Imps are in trouble here. The Imps split. I thought some might turn to fight, but no, they all split. They're just trying to avoid the AoE. Meanwhile, the Lancers, 2 Lancers are already down, but they're trying to avoid the Brutes and Gaunts while getting some... Ooh, they got some nice kills there. So this is actually doing a pretty good job for Dopamine. And let's check here. Ooh, 6 workers. So that looks like 6 went down, is my guess. There were 6 Lancers there, too. Plus we saw 2 go down over here. So it's very possible that we saw about 8 to 10 workers go down there. And as well as a Gaunt or 2, etc. So I think that was effective harass from Dopamine. At worst, he probably went even. But more likely he got the damage done he needed. Because, of course, worker kills don't exactly trade 1-to-1. Because you stop the workers from doing their work. That's the whole point, of course. So it's worth more than just the 50 50 Luminite that it costs to replace them. For now, Yoru did a little skirmish engage there, but then retreats after taking the camp. Not exactly wanting to engage with Dopamine right yet. Regrouping up again, getting the speed camp, and then deciding maybe I do. Does he have his charge up yet? No, so he's wisely probably waiting for that yet. It's just started. There are no workers here on Therium, and I think that's because he restocked as he pulled all those workers off Therium so that they could get working on Luminite again. And he's got that rally set up again. He's got 100 in the bank, but it's not clear that he needs much more. He could use it to produce some more gaunts, but if he's starved of Therium for just a while he gets his Luminite back up, he can just pump into brutes. This is a pretty good engage for Yoru here. Forcing the units back, but also trying to stay on the Shroud as much as he can. And now it's Yoru who has to retreat. Down goes the effigy, and Yoru's full on in retreat. Dopamine takes a second to recapture the speed camp, while Servo's going in the top here. Looks like they're going to go do a little bit of a bunky rush. And speedy Exos, super speedy there, but also charged upon. And we do see that the brutes are kind of a little bit of a counter here, being able to get on top of the Exos with their speed. And yeah, Dopamine cancels that sentry post and builds another one behind the trees. Yoru split off a few units to try and capture back the tower here. And now they're maybe going to fight over it a little bit. Yoru, ooh, getting a couple stuns down. Kills an Exo. But more brutes going down instead. And this tower stays in control of Dopamine for now, but more reinforcements again showing up for Yoru. And he is going to push into this. He's trying to get the kills. There's a lot of medtechs in the back, which of course help with the resilience of the Exos, but aren't a great DPS. And at the same time, this camp recharges. And it's Dopamine who's going to try and go for the kills. But no, it's team creeping right now. You get some, I get some. And then we'll get right back to fighting after that. And sure enough, they do. It is Yoru who has the camp. And look at him stutter step back and forth to try and delay the capture of the camp. And it is actually Dopamine who's rotating around saying, fine, I'm going to put pressure on your base instead of the camp. And again, Yoru has to come up here and defend. There is a flak cannon in the back there putting down the damage and defending this push. Yoru again pushing into the woods. The woods, of course, take up surface area that make it harder for all these melee units of the Infernal to get any damage done. Again, the bunker goes down. I couldn't tell if it was cancelled or destroyed there. And a few units split off to continue to defend here. Where are the rest of those units going? We should keep an eye on that, as these units are in a defensive structure or posture. Maybe they just came back. The other ones, oh, they're recapturing the health camp. And that is really important, especially when your opponent has this many med techs. That means that their units are, look at this, a med station. He's basically attacking and pushing from a healing camp. And when that's happening, it's important for you to have your own healing camp. And at the moment, this is looking pretty bad for Yoru. These healing camp push, really nice, I like it. But Yoru does bring in a bunch of reinforcements and has recaptured that health camp now. So he is getting his passive regen too. And wow, there's a lot of brutes here. He was able to get a good force going, just a few gaunts in the back, putting down that curse. The healing camp doing as much as it can. In comes a Weaver to lash up a medtech and more brutes. So the Exos do have to go into full retreat here. And so do the brutes, they pull back. Wow, that was a good little skirmish there. But the med station's still up, and there's still a flat cannon in the back. Switching out the med tech for another exo for a flat cannon. And we're watching another sentry post go down. But good stuns, good kills on some of those exos. And the flat cannon's going to go down. Just one more sentry post there, but the servos get taken out first. And then just focus fire on the sentry post. We'll put it out as well. We can hear that flat cannon in the back firing off, getting some good hits on the brutes. And Dopamine for the moment has been able to keep this position. Now, interestingly, behind this, though, Yoru has been able to get a 4th base up. Yoru's been quite impressive with his ability to macro and micro behind it. He's been defending this base for a good, couple minutes here, while also recapturing those camps and macroing up behind this. And it's because of that that he's now killed that forward sentry post and is pushing into the trees again. And why is he not fighting in them? Because it's just bad for his melee units to be fighting in those trees. He's rotating around now, making it look like he's going to make a flank attack here on this position. And sure enough, he doesn't want to go through the trees. He wants to go up the ramp instead. But Dopamine pushes him back down. And Yoru says, fine, you fight into me. Was able to maintain just a little bit of a concave there. Get some better damage down. And pushing Dopamine back up to the top of the ramp. Dopamine stutter stepping away, trying to get those extra kills. We see some promotes going down, keeping these units alive. And as well as these exos are doing here, the front line starts to dwindle. None of the lefts, they're very brave, and they push all the way forward. A Vulcan showing up now. You can hear his gun firing from the back. And somehow Yoru is just streaming in units over and over here. Both of these, the pacing here as well, because we're watching as units are just dying as new ones are showing up to replace them. And it's a matter of control and micro. Can you maximize what you're getting out of your units? Can you make sure that a few of the low ones live, especially on Dopamine side, so they can be healed up, etc. And Yoru finally wins that position and pushes Dopamine away after like 5 minutes of constant battle there, while he's also now going to use his high ground position to rain down fireballs on those servos. Once again, we got a little bit of team creeping here. You get a few and I get a few. And now, oh, that was a giant Nightfall infestation. All those units with a system shock to try and purge it away. And again, Yoru just slowly pushing forward, breaking that contain he had on his third. And then now slowly creating maybe his own pressure on Dopamine's third. Now, he doesn't have a mag or something to knock down these trees. Oh, he does have some Hellborn there. I can see some Hellborn though, so he could do that. Hellborn, of course, have become much more useless at knocking down trees since their splash damage was removed. Maybe they should just only splash trees? That would be great. And we're watching just a very slow contain here. Servos are going down to this. But as they move back and forth mining, the Hellborns keep changing their targets. Brutes scooting around, trying to push this army off so the Hellborns can do their work. And look at this. Splitting off a small number of brutes to get on top of the servos. And that's just meaning that if Dopamine's unable to break the contain, he's going to lose the base. So Dopamine's kind of forced into engaging these units on the high ground, while the brutes on the low ground are still getting damage done. But Yoru is in full retreat. Once again, we see a collapsing Weaver here. And oh no, now there's some Hellborn. The Hellborn finally gets some reinforcements, turn to fight, and we're watching as that base down below there is also going down. Brutes and Gaunts pushing up the ramp. We got jump jets from 3 Vulcans going to the front line, trying to do some taking, but there are Hellborn in the back. But those Vulcan were able to tear through the front line. There was basically nothing left. And, wow, those Brutes probably caught in... Oh, no, they're called in to get a flank down on this army. And this is actually perfect, as the Hellborn are able to focus fire down some of the Vulcans here. The flank is now dead, but that maybe got the traction that was needed, as almost all the Vulcans are gone. This base still... Okay, we now see Dopamine turning to heal it up. Ugh, the bloods and guts here tell the tale of the last, 5, 6, 7 minutes. There's been constant battle here in the top left. Oh, wow, and I've been talking about this expansion pattern here. Yoru's got a few more bases down here. This is crazy, actually, and his supply is on top now by about 50 after those ongoing exchanges. Nonetheless, we're having a minor reprieve here. I say that as... Is this a sentry post going down here? And Yoru does notice this and is on the way. In come the Phantoms. Half his army stops to take out the creeps, which I like. Again, he's been doing a great job of splitting his units. This is part of the play that I think Yoru is pioneering right now, is splitting his force, and it might be due to the new way that Inferno plays with the charge brutes. So it means that he is able to send a small group of brutes off to do some harassing in a way that you might have earlier sent some fiends. Oh, and again, here we see it happening again. One Gaunt gets the box as well, and it's Brutes and Gaunt going off to harass. And he's doing this not just as like a simple harass, but as part of a push here into the third, so that he's forcing Dopamine to micro on 2 fronts, where, well, he is as well microing on 2 fronts, but it really forces a skill expression out as all the servos get pulled away here, and that base looks like it's going to go down. And Dopamine is going to try and get damage done on this side, but look at that, a huge cursed bomb. I don't know if that was Gaunts or Nightfall. I didn't see the Nightfall infestation area of effect trigger. But they're actually pushing forward here, and I think this is just Yoru waiting for the right moment to push into the army. His building was kind of upsetting his concave there. Now we see very nice tramples, but then also really nice jump jets to stun the Magmadons. A lot of Hellborn here, Brutes running in from the back line, and servos showing up. I need to mention, Brutes are all over the place. That other base has already gone down. So while this battle is going on, Dopamine is losing bases behind and production, etc. And that is going to be GG from Dopamine in this game.